You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, Jon and Zack.
Hey everyone, I'm Jon.
And I'm Zack.
And welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink bourbon
and talk about it.
Oh, short one today.
Short one today. I'm tired, dude.
Yeah, it is late. It's downfall
it's late
of
and
working dads, I guess, right?
Working dads, and I had a 3-year-old with me all day.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 o'clock, but my body's like, it's been dark since 5.
Oh God, yeah.
So that's throwing me off. This whole
I hate it. I hate it.
It can be done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know we deal with it. Done. I know we deal with it every year, but I'm really just like, I'm over it.
I'm just tired of dealing with it. Dude, if I was going to run for president, my entire platform would be I want daylight savings time.
So wait, are we in daylight saving times now, or are we back to normal now? You know what I'm saying?
Whatever we do in the summer as president, that would become our new normal.
Okay.
All of the time.
Because one of them's like, whatever the actual time is. Anyway.
So saving daylight. Would that be making it darker earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Or saving daylight as in saving more of the day?
Well, I do have
lighter longer.
Hold on. I
know we're on computers right now, and we could look this up.
I am right now.
Everyone's going to be like,
1 second.
Why are they talking about
this?
No.
Okay.
This was a bourbon podcast.
Daylight saving time starts in March and ends in November. So right now we're back to normal time.
Oh, I hate normal time.
Yeah. There's a
daylight savings time forever. Make daylight the new normal.
Hawaii, most of Arizona, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and a couple other smaller islands that do not observe daylight savings time. They just don't observe it. So part of Arizona does not, part of Arizona is in one time and the other part is in another time. Yeah, exactly.
Well, if the other one, if it's only 9 o'clock at the other one, then I want to go there.
Yeah.
Because it's 11 o'clock in the other one because we lost an hour.
Yeah.
Is why it's darker earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock in the other one. I want to go there because can't deal with this whole dark at 5 o'clock thing. As you can tell by my yawns.
Yeah. So for this episode, let's actually get into it. As you can tell by the title, we wanted to do a fun local holiday release episode. We had seen some holiday releases from ones, around here. And then recently we got a press release of another holiday release. And I was like, you know what, this would be fun episode to kick off the whole holiday season. Probably our next couple episodes, our next bunch of episodes are probably going to be Advent calendar. And then we'll kick back into regular episode mode after that. So I figured this would be a good way to kind of kick that off, and the holiday season too. So for everything Those Dram Yinzers, be sure to visit thosedramyinzers.com. You can find our social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, our Patreon page, where you can support the show financially, and order the order form for the TDY hats, and a link to Zach's favorite site.
Jon, are you talking about dramit.threadless.com?
Why, yes, I am.
That's funny. You should mention that. It's a pretty great site where you can get clothes and I don't know if we sell hats on there yet. The hat's a separate thing.
Yeah.
I should know this. But you can get cool stuff on there, and the stuff is cool. And isn't it cool to have cool stuff? So if you want cool stuff, check out this cool website that exclusively has cool stuff.
By some cool dudes.
By some cool dudes.
Yeah.
On the coolest podcast around.
Mm-hmm. All right, you want to start drinking?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, man. My brain is already fuzzy. So this is going to be fuzzy brain plus alcohol plus late for working dads plus talking. So this is going to be.
So it's going to be normal.
Yeah.
All right. So first up on, so we're actually only going to be highlighting two local distilleries. I scoured the internet. I just didn't get a chance to go to the different ones, but like, the two we're going to highlight is Wigle and Liberty Pole. I didn't have a chance to get to any of the other ones to see if they had anything coming up. I checked their social medias and their websites and everything. I didn't see anything like major popping out of like holiday releases. So I figured, so these two are going to be highlighted today. And if we find anything else, I'll probably do like an Instagram story or something like that for them as well. Cause like we always say, we love supporting locals. So, we'll go down the list, but, first up from Wiggle is they're having their next bottled cocktail lineup. I've had their old fashioned like pre-mixed cocktail bottle. It's fantastic. It's a great little drink. Now they came out with a rum old fashioned. So rather than typical old fashioned that has whiskey in it, they did it with the rum. Here's what their release said. Wiggle adds a sixth release to its very popular ready-to-drink bottled cocktail lineup. The Wigle Rum Old Fashioned is made with barrel-aged molasses-based rum, organic brown sugar, and organic pomander or orange bitters. This Thanksgiving, pour it over ice, add a garnish, impress family and friends with cocktail-making prowess. I thought that was interesting. I do like some of their premix stuff. It is super nice just to kind of grab it and kind of go. If not all of us are cocktail aficionados, so it's much easier to just like have something that's premixed and just like I said, pour it over ice, maybe add a little bit of garnish. No, not. The next one that they have lined up, and we're actually going to. We actually got a couple samples of some of the whiskey themed ones on here. So the next one we're actually going to try on the show right now. But the next one is a rum cask rye. So their release says on the latest addition to the barrel finish series, which we've had a couple of those here on the show. The Wiggles distiller Heidi Nagal. Sorry, Heidi, if I mispronounced your last name. For those who prefer a celebratory sipper neat, add Wigle rum cask rye to your holiday bar. To produce this, they took their Wiggles straight Pennsylvania rye, double pot stilled, aged in 53-gallon new American oak barrels for 4.5 years. This is a 4.5 year aged rye to start with. Taken from the barrels and rebarreled in used Jamaican rum cask for 11 months. So, I mean, you're starting out at 4.5 year. That's pretty banging, So that's the first one we have lined up, and we've already go ahead and poured that into our glasses. I said this before we started recording, but I'm not at home, and I don't have my Glencairn, so I am drinking out of a classic Jimmy Neutron Welch's grape jelly glass jar. There was a
alone does not get us more subscribers than I don't.
Oh, I'm blanking on who it was, and he's gonna kill me. But there was someone on one of the Pittsburgh whiskey tables who was drinking out of the Winnie the Pooh like grape glass jars, like back when that was like glass jars were like the thing, I'll think of it. Yeah, I'll think of it. I'll probably just blurt his name out later, but. All right. So what do you think right off the bat?
I'm getting serious caramel notes.
Yeah, I'm not getting typical rye notes off this. It's a little harder to do in this giant glass, but
brown sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sweet factors from the rum are taking over more than a typical rye would. I'm just gonna jump right in. Okay. Definitely can taste the Wigle rye. I said Pennsylvania ryes have a very distinct taste note, and I get that way up front. I didn't get too much
more peppery on the palate.
Yeah, I didn't get too much on the rum. Let me try again.
I got more of the rum on the nose and more of the rye on the palate.
There's a teeny bit of the rum, but like nothing too overpowering.
I think there's like a subtle vanilla that they probably got somewhat from the rum.
Mm-hmm.
It's a drier whiskey.
Yeah.
Got a great color.
Oh wait, here, hold on. I have the bottle. Let me see. It's 92 proof. which it drinks a little hotter than that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely's got a decent hug going down. I think I'd put this at a downtown. I'd say go to the distillery and give this a try. Once they start having because you can try anything that they have there at the distillery. Right. I'd give this one a try first. I know there's some other rum finished ones. Honestly, when I saw rum finished rye, I immediately thought of Angel's Envy because their rye is finished in rum barrels. But that's such a weird, distinct flavor profile. Mm. Yeah, I taste the rye myself. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. If we were home, if I was at home, I would probably pull out a bottle of their rye to kind of compare it to. Yeah, but I'd put this at downtown for now. What do you think?
This is a downtown for me as well. I think it's good. But I don't know.
I don't know
if I buy a whole bottle of it or not. But I would not discourage anyone else from buying a whole bottle of it because this could tickle someone's particular fancy. And it's by no means a bad whiskey. I mean,
yeah,
especially if you're a fan of like the Pennsylvania Ryes, I think you'll be a fan of this. I will say, personally, I enjoyed the nose more than the taste.
Yeah,
I was kind of looking for some of that sweetness from the nose to kind of come through in the flavor profile, and I think that was what was throwing me off. Was I wasn't getting as much of it on the flavor profile.
I'm trying to pull up the prices of these new ones. Okay, so the rum old fashioned 45, and that was 64 proof, and it's a 750. So this is a 750. So a full fifth. It was $45 for the rum, and then the rum cask rye again 750, 85 for this. So I definitely put this at a downtown for sure on the price.
I put this at a downtown. Make sure that you like this before you buy it. But I could see people like this though.
Yeah. I'm not dissing it. I know there's some other rum finished things out there, and like I said, I'm not getting crazy amount of rum from this. But again, if I had the rye to back it up, I probably would pull out some more, but I didn't think to bring that home or bring that back here with me. So, okay.
Yeah. Again,
cool.
Same on my end. Not dissing it by any means. Just personally, I'd encourage people to try it before. This would be definitely a try before you buy.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we don't have these ones. Berg in a box and ready to drink cocktail kit. It's 3 200 milliliter flask bottles. The Berg in a Box incorporates favorite Wigle products: cinnamon whiskey, landlocked spiced rum, and the Waspy bourbon. It's a really cool Pittsburgh skyline design. It's actually really neat looking bottles. Or the design they got.
It's quite beautiful.
Yeah,
it's got a bit of a moonshine flavor with like the shape of the bottles with the caps on the top.
So wait, they have those three, and then ready to drink cocktail kit. Oh, so there's two: the Berg in the Box and the ready to drink cocktail kit. The ready to drink kit is the bourbon old fashioned, so the regular one, the Manhattan, and the Negroni. So those, both boxes have 3 flask bottles in them, and those are. Let's look that price up. I should have had this pulled up earlier. I thought it was on this release, but it wasn't. Okay, Berg in a Box, 65. Ready to drink, 49. So I think we don't have those ones, but those are a lot of their standard lineup.
Would have been a fun, gorgeous segment.
It would have. I do miss you doing that one. Okay, so the next two. This one, I was like, can I please get a sample? And they just didn't have any available. But we both love their deep cut rye, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They are now releasing a deep cut bourbon.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this one. This is batch one. It's the first time they've done this. Is the only cask strength bourbon on their shelves. Everything else is proof down, minus the deep cut rye. So this is the first cask strength bourbon that they're selling. $85 deep cut bourbon is a premium spirit for serious whiskey drinkers. 4 years of maturation yields prominent flavors of charred orange, caramel, and dark chocolate. Now you see what I really wanted to get. I was trying to get my hands on a little bit.
Goodness gracious. It sounds like Christmas in a bottle.
If we can get our hands on a little bit, I might, we'll do like a Instagram, like live or something like that for it.
Yeah.
All right. So the one we do have is their next single barrel bourbon. So the This single barrel straight bourbon whiskey harvested from just one, hence single barrel, 53-gallon oak cask is selected for its premium flavors that developed over 5 years. This is a 5-year. Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
I'm excited.
I didn't read that. I missed that the first time around. 100 proof
barrel.
Oh, it's 100 proof too. So they could technically call this bottle. No. Yeah, bottle and bond just has to be at least 4, but it has to be 100 proof. So they must not have qualified for the rest of them. But yeah, 100 proof.
Retails for $69.
Which actually isn't too bad for theirs. So let's pour a little bit of this.
Oh, on the nose. I like that. It's a little spicy.
Oh yeah, but that's a
little sweet, like a cinnamon spicy though.
Like what's the candy? It's the hot cinnamon candy. Oh my god.
I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Big Reds.
Yes, that. Yeah.
But don't be confused. This is not like a fireball cinnamon smell. It's very subtle. It blends in beautifully with the like vanilla that you get from the bourbon.
So it's dry up front for a bourbon. Dry up front, powerful 100 proof finish on that. What do you think after first sip?
It is powerful for 100 proof. I mean, 100 proof is no small thing, but I think this tastes
drinks
like
hotter.
Drinks hotter, yeah. But I like it. I like this one more than the rum barrel.
Yeah. It's got a weird spice kick in the middle that I wasn't expecting from a bourbon.
It is dry. It's very dry. I pick up a lot on the corn up front.
Getting dark cherry. You know what I mean? Like a dry, dark fruit in the middle. I don't know where I want to put this at because
I get a little. You get a little almost. Oh, this is the right one for it. I need I need Scott to bring his nosy kit, but I almost feel like I'm getting a little bit of almost like a leather.
Okay.
On the finish, a little bit, not a lot, but kind of like that. I don't know, earthy, but not in the way that you would attribute necessarily to the wood from the barrel. I love the nose on this. The nose is fabulous. I could smell this all day.
Where would you put this at?
I'm a little bit torn, but I'm leaning downtown on this one. It's like right between a downtown and a Haas for me, but I think I'd want to spend a little more time with this one before I committed to buying a full bottle.
Mm-hmm. I agree with the downtown. I don't feel like it's like I want single barrels to be different than the normal offering. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like this is crazy different. It is. I feel like it feels like we're like crapping on everything they're doing right now. It is different. 5 years is awesome. It drinks a little hotter than 100 proof, but yeah, I mean,
if you like your
while you're
hotter,
down there,
that could be a definite plus.
Yeah,
for you.
while you're down there, testing out the rum finished rye, ask them for a tasting of the single barrel. That's the new single barrel.
I think it would definitely be worth people taking a sip of to decide where this falls for them. Like I said, I'd want to spend a little more time with it before I committed to.
Especially if you are already down the strip, or they have a bunch of pop-up locations too, ton of pop-up locations. Especially if you're around one of those, like stop in anyway, even just to try. Even if you buy like a little like flight of something, like just do it. Like it's neat to try their stuff, especially if you haven't. So okay, so let's keep chugging on. All right, so
I'm excited about this next one.
The next ones, right? So there's 3. We've done one of these on the show already. At least I think we have. Rudolph, St. Nick, City of Champs gift set. So this is coming in as a gift set. Ring in another holiday season with return of St. Nick, one of Wigle's most popular brewer series releases. And now packaged with jolly old St. Nick front and center on the bottle. To produce this holiday favorite, Wigle Distillers worked with Penn Brewery's St. Nicholas Boker, a traditional German-style brew that boasts an array of roasty malt flavors balanced with a subtle touch of hops. Well balanced Boker is double distilled and rested in American oak cask for 18 months, adding mellow vanilla and toffee notes. Okay, so they take this German beer for the Saint Nick and distill that and then put that in casks for the Saint Nick.
Oh my.
So it's 375s. It's three 375s of all three, the Rudolph, Saint Nick, and the City of Champs. It's this set is 105. But I think they sell all three in general. I mean, I know they sell they sell all three. So
it's
by
36
themselves
a piece.
Yes, thank you. Okay, you were ahead of me then. Good, perfect. Thank you. All right, so the next one, yes, this is one we have. Wigle is celebrating a third-year partnership with Great Lakes Brewing. See, that's why you like it, right? Baby. With another special relief of the Rudolph Holiday Whiskey. It's Wiggle's straight American whiskey, aged for 2 years in new char oak barrels, before resting it into the cask previously used to age Great Lakes Christmas ale for 6 months. So they take their straight American whiskey, stick it into a barrel that had the Christmas ale in it, and let it sit there for 6 months. The secondary maturation period lends cinnamon, ginger, and honey notes to the spirit, which mingle perfectly with the vanilla and apple notes already prevailed in the easygoing American whiskey.
I just had a Great Lakes Christmas ale last night. So
Did you? Oh, is that? Oh, that's the one you were trying. I should have taken you up on it. I wasn't even thinking.
Oh, good, my guy. You'll have to come back over.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, they don't actually have they don't have a bit about the City of Champions, but the City of Champions is a straight bourbon whiskey. It's not single barrel, but it's like a small, like they have specific casks that they grab to mix to blend for this particular thing. If you go back and listen to the second part of the Rebellion Festival episode when we met with the Wiggle rep there, he talked about this one particularly. But yeah, so that one's in there as well. But we have the Rudolph. So 92 proof whiskey finished in beer barrels is what it says on the label. You're nosing it. What do you think?
I like the nose. I have not disliked a nose yet tonight.
Mm-mm. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with the nose just because of the glass I'm using.
This one is more subtle. This is the most subtle one, but I am picking up on the cinnamon and the honey, which I am definitely picking up notes of the beer on the nose. It's subtle, but it's there. I was just smelling this last night.
So again, they're saying cinnamon, ginger, honey, vanilla, and apple is what they're getting on this one. There's a little bit of Christmas with, I guess you could lean towards apple if you got like a crisp. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that being like there's a bit of an appley crispness to this.
Ooh, I like that. That crispness definitely sticks in when you first take a sip.
I like that too.
It's lighter.
It's not as dry.
No, it doesn't have those harsher spice notes that we all know that I'm not a big fan of sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, you still get a nice hug on this, but it doesn't feel
right. And I'm fighting heartburn right now, so sometimes the harder hugs aren't helping. Crisp and sweet on the front, honey about halfway through. The hugs there, it shows up a little late, but to be honest, the finish kind of dies out. For as light and crisp as I'm getting on this the whole way through, it kind of just like flattens out about halfway back. What do you think? You said you just had their Christmas ale, so are you getting any bits of that Christmas ale on that? I haven't had their Christmas ale in a while, so I can't really recall.
I get more of the Christmas ale on the nose than I do on the palate, but I don't dislike the palate. I really like the nose. So every single nose tonight has been delightful.
Yeah, I like this one as a whole. I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna put the Rudolph at a Haas. $36 for $36 for 375. Sure, jump on it, especially with their stuff.
Absolutely. And I'm
not gonna.
What,
go ahead.
I also love, as a Cleveland boy, I do love that it's Great Lakes.
And
You do get that ale on the nose, which is delightful.
we both like the City of Champs. I have never had the Saint Nick, so I can't really give you any thoughts on that one. So I can't. I'm not gonna rate the box set as a whole. I think definitely buy a bottle of this Rudolph, especially if you are a Great Lakes fan.
I would on the nutmeg.
I would, even though we've never had it. If you are a beer fan, go down while you're down trying the other ones. Go ahead and try the Saint Nick while you're down there too, just to give that an interesting, give that a little taste. See what you think. I've never had it, so I can't really, and that wasn't in our little kit that they gave us, so I can't really really speak to it too much. And I've never had that beer from Penn, so
I think that's the one that I'm.
No, I would give this Rudolph a Haas. $36. Sure, jump on it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
John, I on my last sip, I picked up on some of that nutmeg on the palate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was losing it on the nose, but I think I got it on the palate. Yeah, I'd get a bottle of that.
My heartburn's fighting me on it, but I do enjoy this.
John, you gonna be okay tonight, buddy?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I think we were being a little harsh on the first couple because we knew what was coming up. I think subconsciously we knew this, that this was coming up, and we know what we're going to give it. Or at least we hope we know what we're going to give it. But their next and final release on their holiday release press kit is the Northern Exposure. And if you have listened to that episode or both episodes with Meredith and Alex, and if you haven't, go back and do it now. We did try this then, and it was out of this world. After 3 years in New American Oak, this malt whiskey, so there's that one. Malt whiskey is a lighter bodied, sweeter spirit characterized by flavors of cereal grain, honey, and cocoa. These notes pair with the dark, smoky caramel flavors from an additional 6 months in used maple barrels to create a perfect spirit for cold winter nights. The result is a whole extra layer of flavor and warmth that creates the perfect spirit for cold winter nights in front of a warm fire, which is your perfect setting for a whiskey.
It's like they went into my brain and they were like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Their Wiggles distiller Taylor has a quote in this release that says, Wiggle Northern Exposure is wonderful warmed up by tea or hot chocolate. Ooh. And also makes a delicious sweet maple old fashioned. Pair Northern Exposure with a bottle of locally sourced Paul family maple syrup, which is that's the group we met that was next to us at the Whiskey Fest, the table next to us.
And that maple syrup was just fabulous.
Mm-hmm. For a delightfully sweet holiday gift priced at $95. Now this is a full $750, and that's what their price is. And this is an annual release. I didn't think this was an annual release for some reason. I thought it was one of their one-offs, which made me sad. But I'm glad that I realized that I'm wrong, and this is a yearly thing. So Zach, you don't have to worry about finishing it because you're going to be able to get it again.
Yes.
So this is
online. It says it's $85 for the bottle. For the 750 milliliters. So I think that 95 price point might have been the bottle plus the maple syrup.
Gotcha. Okay, so it does say 85. All right, cool. So I have the press release. You have the site up. Gotcha. All right, let's get into this. Which it looks like you already did.
Off the bat, malt on the nose.
Yeah. Well, it is a malt whiskey, so I would expect.
Right.
So let me see. Here's what the bottles. Whiskey distilled from malt mash finished in maple syrup barrels.
Might have been a stupid thing for me to say malt right off the bat, but like the malt really comes through.
It's a malt whiskey. You should be getting it. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna pull that site up real quick because.
Oh. Wow, I'm getting maple. I'm getting chocolate. I'm getting coffee a little bit.
I should have went back and looked at our notes from that one. Whoa.
Wow.
That was just like an explosion of flavors.
Am I crazy? I was getting maple and chocolate and a little bit of coffee.
No, I definitely got coffee, which I don't know if that's from like the malt happening, but like I definitely got coffee from that. Yeah, most definitely. That was just like a flavor explosion.
Wow, that was great.
Mm-hmm. But I do.
I think
I was like, "What's cereal grain taste like?" It tastes like that. Holy crap!
Oh my gosh, I can totally see this in a hot chocolate now.
I never even
Goodness
thought of that.
gracious.
And I make teas all the time, so I'm definitely gonna pick up on all this stuff. I mean, you can guess it. This is a Haas.
Oh, this is definitely a Haas.
I don't.
This is different. Okay, well, I think this is a little different from the northern exposure we had down at the Barrel House, because I do not remember getting nearly as much like chocolate and coffee notes off the bat on the last one. I think the last one I got a little more maple forward than this one.
That's what I remembered too. Yeah.
But I still really like this.
Well, you have a little bit left. You could always test it.
Oh, I could. Tell you what I'm gonna do.
Do it. Go get it. Go get it.
Oh God.
Go get it.
All right. I was gonna say I'll do it on an Instagram story, but
do it now.
Do it now.
Mm.
I'm doing this for you guys. This is. I know that we're not doing video for this.
Oh, you got plenty in there.
This is what I have left.
Ooh, that's a different bottle. They're not doing the square bottles too much anymore because it's around.
I'm gonna put a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you think between the two.
I'm gonna start with the nosies. So the last year's first. All right, off the bat, the one that we got from the interview on the nose, I picked up on the maple immediately.
Okay.
I think the malt is stronger in this year's.
Okay.
Than it was. What was that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Right before COVID. So yeah. 2 years ago.
This has a little bit of a toastier note to it than this one. I should.
Yeah. They can't see you. I can.
They can't see me. Yeah. Okay. So the current bottle, a little toastier on the nose than the previous bottle.
Okay.
All right. Now we're gonna dip into flavor. Okay. So the last bottle that we got, in general, much more maple forward.
Okay.
Including on the palate. The palate is it's a little gentler of a finish on this one. I get very mild hug. It's like a light kiss of a hug. Bob Ross would call it a whisper. The current one, you definitely still get maple on the palate with this one, but I am also getting that chocolate and that coffee that the other didn't have. This also, I think, what's the proof of this
year's? 92.
Okay, so it drinks hotter this year.
Okay.
Than it did.
What was the proof of 2 years ago?
92.
Okay.
So this one drinks hotter. I think it depends on what you're looking for. I would say we've used this before. This year's is a more active whiskey, whereas 2 years ago was a slightly more passive whiskey. I don't say passive as a negative thing. I just mean it's very easy to just kind of fall, I think, into a rhythm of sipping and sipping and sipping.
Okay.
2 years ago, because you will just kind of, your palate will, I think, adjust to it quicker than it would with this year. I think this year's, you would, every time you took a sip, it would kind of be reminding you, I'm here.
Oh yeah, the flavor bomb in general is just insane.
Yes. You know me. I love a sip in whiskey. So of the two, I I lean more towards the one from 2 years ago from my personal taste.
Okay.
But if you like a more, let's say, robust,
That would be a good word
palette,
for it.
and if you like when whiskey drinks a little hotter,
Okay.
then I would say this year's would be the way to go.
Okay.
So it just depends on your personal preference. That being said, I still give both of these a pass.
Okay. That was my next question for you. So, okay. So even though it's very different from 2 years ago, you still.
Yeah. No, different does not mean bad. I can't get over the coffee notes on this. I love that. That's not a bad thing. I love that. I think that was more surprising to me than anything because my only reference for this prior was 2 years ago, which was so maple forward. So this like chocolate coffee bomb in this new one was a very pleasant surprise.
Okay, so that was everything from Wiggle's holiday release schedule. So definitely get yourself down there. Try a couple of those that we suggested. Try some other stuff too. See what you like. Make great gifts, you know. All right. So our next holiday release, we already said it was from Liberty Pole, and it is their a ring-a-ding-ding. It's their spiced whiskey, which we always highly promote. So so normally, right, we wouldn't probably even be talking about this one right now because they don't normally drop it till closer to Thanksgiving, typically. Or let's just say the past 2 years, it's been closer to Thanksgiving. And I found out that they actually didn't sell the last bottle till Valentine's Day last year.
What?
Well, they made a lot last year, like a lot more than they did the first year. You know what I mean? So they're like, yeah, we'll probably sell out like sooner this time. I was like, oh yeah, definitely. But so it went on sale on one of the best days of the year, October 28th, which is Mr. Zachary's birthday.
John, go on. You do.
I let them know that last night, and they were like, "No way, that's awesome!"
It was a great birthday present.
So it is
family.
It is on sale. They like I said, we're past October 20th, so it is on sale. It is $50 for $7.50. They will ship it to PA for $15. They'll do, to ship a flat fee anywhere in PA. You have to be, or you can pick it up. You could buy it online and select your pickup location at the distillery, which is what I did. Zach, I know you had yours shipped to your house.
Right.
It is 84 proof this year. Went up a little bit in proof. I think wasn't last year 82. Is that what we said yesterday?
Last year was 82.4.
Yeah. So it went up in proof a bit. This year, however, it is solely 53. Last year was 30-gallon barrels they used to make it. This year they used 53s. Their 53s have been maturing for at least 3 years now. Because if you remember when we did the episode with Kevin and Rob, right? That was 3 years ago, by the way. They were starting. Yeah. They were starting to solely fill 53s at that point. So their 53 gallons have been sitting for 3 years at this point. So they pulled one out and they were just like, this has to be the whiskey that we use for the spice. Let's see. We all know the story. Yeah. This year's release is made entirely from 53-gallon barrel rye whiskey aged from 2 to 3 years, roughly. I think he said it was 3 different 53 gallons. And I think the youngest was technically like 2.5, I think is what he said. But all three are anywhere from 2 to 3 years old, which they even write on their site, our oldest rye base yet. So that's awesome. Perfect bottle to share with friends, family during the holiday season. I hope you enjoy this batch as much as we did. So this is the other release, the other holiday release. I don't, because they've made a ton of it this year. I don't see it. Are you there? Are you?
I'm here.
Oh, you were like really frozen. And I thought you like.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
I was just pondering.
Okay. So I don't even remember what I was saying. They made a lot. It made the same amount as they made last year. So it's still going to be around, although I would not sit and wait. Buy your bottle. I don't know if this is going to be at Pennsylvania Libations. I didn't get that info, but I think it's just online or in store. And in store is only while they have it there. But if you buy it in store and if you buy it online and pick it up in store, that gives you a reason to go. I don't know what their cocktails coming up
Try
are.
some of mom's cocktails.
Yeah. They just ended. Today was the last day for their old fashioned weeks because they did 2 weeks of old fashions, and I got to try all 6 last night when I picked up my bottles, and they were all really really good. So, but they're gone. So sorry. So I'm not sure what their next cocktails are. Actually, you want a little insider,
No,
Zachary?
always.
They may or may not feature our cocktail of the spiced that you and I, you put together.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah. They said, I mean, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but they were like, trying to think of like, one of their bartenders made a cool, if you go to their Instagram, made a cool drink with their spiced. Ellen was thinking of like other whiskeys to do, other cocktails to do, and she was like, maybe we should include the spice. I said, well, you should do Zach's, and she was like, which one? And Kevin was like, I think it was either Kevin or Rob was like, no, I literally was like thinking like, oh, we should definitely do that. So like I took a screenshot of like the recipe you sent me and gave it to them. So that may or may not be one of their cocktails.
Oh, go on. I'm still playing with it. I've recently added maple syrup.
Ooh. As like, oh, that would be really good. Like as like a rim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pour it in maple syrup and maybe like some like, I don't know what you would put around.
Rim it
like
in maple syrup, cinnamon sugar around the rim.
Cinnamon sugar. Yes.
And then rim the inside of the glass with your orange peel. And then,
But-
Mom, when you hear this episode, have at it.
Without further ado, let's get into it. I mean, right off the bat, it's Michael's during the holiday season. That's the
in
best
every
way.
best possible way.
I mean, you open up, you go in, they have the automatic doors, right? You walk in, that second door opens, or the door, whatever, whether it's 1 or 2 doors, that door opens and it just hits you, right?
Cinnamon.
All
nutmeg,
of those dried branches and stuff that they have on, like, it's just right there. Oh my God. Yes.
This year's nosy, I think, is a little more intense than last year's too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last year's was very rye forward. The rye whiskey definitely stuck out more than it did in batch 1, which
this is
for those keeping
batch
count
1 for me.
For those keeping count, this is technically batch 4. It is the 3rd year that they're releasing this, but this is batch 4 because the first year they did batch 1 sold out in 24 hours and then made a second batch so they could sell more. So 3rd year, but batch 4.
I like that.
If Kevin, Rob, Huff family, if you guys or when you guys are listening, comment on either Instagram or Facebook or both, and let us know, is this going to be at Pennsylvania Libations as well, or are you just strictly sticking it to online and in store? Because that'd be good to know for people who can't, sometimes can't make it or don't want to pay the $15 shipping, if they can just pop into PA Libations and get this. So let us know. So what do you think?
They did it again. Freaking did it again.
Yep.
This year is definitely more spice forward versus last year's slightly more rye forward.
Yep.
On the nose, I get a lot of citrus on the nose. A lot more citrus than in past years. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I get like that orange and the clove and the cinnamon. But the orange is more prevalent than it has been in past years, I think. And I don't say that in a bad way. But this is like, if you could, once again, if you could bottle Christmas and then distill it and then get people drunk off of it. Right here, this stuff. And I'm looking at the camera as if we were recording this right now. No, we're not.
No, I agree. I had a little bit of this last night when I went and picked up my bottles. Yeah, it's definitely not as rye forward as the last year, which isn't a bad thing. I thought last year was an interesting take on it. The spices definitely come out a little bit more in this, which may be part of the fact that last year was 30-gallon barrels. This year's 53. So 30-gallon, you're going to get a lot more. depending on how long that was aged, right? You might get more of that rye from it because it was aged, in smaller barrels. But I mean, I'm still happy with this. This is still a cocktail in the glass. I'm super excited. My family, my dad, who will hopefully be on the show at some point, who's not typically a whiskey fan. This is basically all he drinks when it comes to like Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve and everything. Sometimes he'll dip back into his gin and tonics, but typically I can get him to drink. I can get him to drink the Dram Yinzer cocktail that we both love making. That now I'm going to add that extra little bit of maple syrup and cinnamon sugar to it. But this whiskey is fantastic, and I don't think we need to tell you, but we will tell you that this is a Haas. This is a Haas times multiple. Get multiple, because
your Haas and your friend's Haas and your mom's Haas and your dad's Haas and your aunt's Haas.
Yeah.
Any Haas you could be in, there should be a bottle of this in that Haas, just so you've got it on hand.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
this is the thing. This is the magical whiskey right here. It's not about the pretense. It's not about how big is your flavor palette or how in tune is it with the official kits and all that sort of stuff, which is great. And that's an awesome part of drinking whiskey is you develop that over time. Like, I know I'm still a baby with that, but it's better now than it ever has been in my entire life. And I appreciate it now more than I ever have before. And I'm drinking stuff that I never would have thought I was drinking, like Rise. And I'm even starting to pour on some scotches, and I blame you, Aaron.
Yeah. I mean, you and I, that's why the tagline is we drink bourbon and talk about it, because that's what we were sticking with,
Right.
But no, I mean, we talk about, one of the first ones we were talking about was that rum old fashioned, right? That new cocktail in a glass that's literally how I describe this. This is a cocktail in a glass. I mean, they even say like, it was Mama Huff, this is her holiday whiskey. That's what we call it, right? Or a winter whiskey, excuse me. It was her. She made a homemade allspice dram and made old fashions with it. So like this was the thing that sparked it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a cocktail in a glass, and it's my holiday grab for sure. I mean, if I've said this before, my dad, who does not like whiskey other than peanut butter whiskey, loves this one.
Yeah, I can tell you, my brother lives out in Texas now.
Right. Rob, he's been on the show.
Yeah, Rob's on the show. If there is ever something he requests for me to bring out,
it's this
to Dallas, it's the spiced rye. I got him one for Christmas last year, and he messaged me this year. He said, I tried so hard to hold on to it.
It's hard. It's hard to do it. Yeah.
And I was like, I got you, buddy. I got another one for you. He was like,
I have a teeny bit left of batch 3. I still have some of batch 1 too, that I'm just like, I think I'll probably kill it this year, but I
still had some of batch 1 just to compare.
That's what I want to do. I want to sit down and do all 3. I don't want to do the beta, because all I have left is my shelf one, like the shelf little. Right. I have that's like a 1 ounce bottle. Like, there was 1 ounce left, and I poured it in a sample bottle. Like, that's on my shelf. Like, I don't want to touch that until God knows, I don't even know when.
That's going to be history. That bottle's going to be history. Like, as in, like, literally, once people find out about this whiskey and it blows up and goes national, which it will do if there's any justice, you'll be like, I have the pre-release bottle
right
at my house. That's like, this is going to get morbid, but you'll know what I mean. That's like this is my last drink before I pass kind of a whiskey. You might have to edit this next part out, John. But, I think it'd be super fun if, when we did that comparison show, if we did it with the Huff brothers at Liberty Pole.
When I told Mama Huff that I had some of that from that show, and she just She's like, I just teared up a little bit. She's like, that's amazing that you still have some of that. It's like, heck yeah, I kept some of that. You're right. No, whenever we decide to crack open those, because I have a sample bottle of the beta, the batch 1 and batch 3. I never got batch 2. But I plan on continuing. So like at some point, yeah, we should sit down with them and be like, let's try these.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so this was fun.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, this was a fun little
great.
one.
And it feels like it's been a minute since we did like a real, I shouldn't say a real show, because like the whiskey festival was a real show, but like a traditional.
A little more, yeah. We didn't have our gorgeous moment, but we'll get back to that.
We got a little bit of one in there. I give those wiggle.
Yeah.
bottles
Oh yeah.
gorgeous.
You enjoyed the Berg box.
I would pay $20 for that poster. Support local. And that
I would totally buy that
artist.
poster. Actually, I'm now considering buying that poster and putting it next to my Wiggle Barrel head on my wall.
Yeah, man. No, that was gorgeous. Their artwork is great.
Mm-hmm. No, this is fun. I just figured it'd be fun. It'd be fun to highlight both. Everyone's looking for gift ideas. There's a ton of them there for you. If whether you're trying to give people ideas for yourself or not sure what to get, someone else who may be in there's plenty of options out there that are local, So yeah, check those out. I'll put in the show description, and I'll obviously link it out whenever I make the social media post, but I'll put Liberty Pole's page and Wiggle's page linked out there so you guys can go right to the source and check those out. And like I said, you find yourself down the strip, head over to Wiggle, try a couple of those different ones that we talked about tonight. If you find yourself in Washington,
a little further down, and
go 35 minutes south. Oh yeah, well, it's just said I don't know if they're gonna have the spice there.
Even if they don't, they got other Liberty Pole shit there that I'd recommend people check out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like to your point, head 35 minutes south. Shoot.
Mm-hmm. Definitely check it out. But anyway,
John, question for you. If you had to, we tried 5 whiskeys tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. No. 1, 2.
Give me your top.
The top. What?
Top 2.
The LP and the Rudolph.
The Rudolph.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Right on.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the crazy flavor bomb of the Northern Exposure, but I think I'm still hanging on to what it tastes like 2 years ago. A little too much. But I would put the Rudolph and the obviously the spiced would be my top 2. Yeah. What about you?
My top 2 honestly was the Northern Exposure and the and obviously because of that saying the
LP.
Spiced Rye, the LP. But yeah, no, the Northern Exposure it shocked me because it was different, but it was a flavor bomb. Mm-hmm, and the more I drank it, the more I was like, okay, this is a journey I'm happy to go on.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's one of those, like, when you take a sip, it's like, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then the LP, man, this was like a long hug from an old friend.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, like we said before, anything you need, those Dremyinzers, check it out. ThoseDremyinzers.com. While you're there, check out Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends. It's technically their site. They are gracious enough to allow to host our site on there. But yeah, check it out. You find everything you need for us there. And if you're really enjoying us, please leave us a 5-star rate or review in your favorite podcast app. I think the biggest one, based on the demographics I'm seeing from all our hosting stats, is Apple Podcasts is our biggest one. So definitely jump on there, 5-star rate and review. We'd love to hear that. Love to hear from you. Anyway,
Did we talk about Patreon? Did we talk about our Patreon?
I hit on it a little bit before in the whole spiel that we did at the beginning of the show.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm a freaking brain fart today.
You're good. I like to hit it at the beginning in case someone checks out by the end. But yeah, I mean, Patreon.com.
Who's checking out by the end? This is riveting stuff.
Hey man, I don't know. Some people start hearing you talking about like the outro getting, they're just like, all right, next. I don't know who those people are, but they're out there.
Ouch. Ouch.
But yeah, patreon.com/those-dramyinzers. 3 different tiers, price ranges. I think it's 3, 5, and 10 monthly pledges. Would love to have you guys join on there. I know we've talked about some new things to do for the show once Patreon beefs up a little bit. I've talked with Aaron a couple times, and if we can get our Patreon up to a certain level, we haven't really picked what that level would be. He's down for a monthly Aaron's Locker episode.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So so tell your friends, if you're not on there, please be on there.
And then if you are looking to sponsor a relatively young up and coming podcast run by 2 relatively no longer young hosts, and you think that this would be something that could work well with your brand or your message or your audience, drop us a line at our emails or on our socials, and we'd love to get in touch with you guys and see if we can work out something that would be mutually beneficial.
Yeah, thank you actually for bringing that up. I keep wanting to talk about that at the end, but yeah, if you want to sponsor or you want to have like a in podcast ad or something like that, definitely hit us up. We love supporting local, and if we can find some mutual beneficial thing, let's do it. All right, man. Well, the only other way I think, or I know how to finish this out, Zachary, sir, cheers to you.
John, my brother, cheers to you.
And cheers to you.
Cheers to you.